Good afternoon. This is Kate, and thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of Cosmo Talk. Today we'll be talking about basically having kids out of wedlock. The reason why we decided to speak on this today is due to I received a few requests and opinions, requesting my opinion on that. So I feel like we should, dive in on that. Um, Times have changed. We can all admit, that sex is great. Many of us are actually having sex, whether it's casual, committed, 50 Shades of Grey sex, or just quickies, whatever. But 9 times out of 10, many of us that are having sex are not married. So basically, the chances of having children out of wedlock is pretty high, unless you're using the proper channels to prevent that. So basically, I'm just letting I'm not here to judge anybody because there is no perfect way of being a parent, whether you're married, whether you're not, as long as both parties are involved and they're taking, the time to raise the kid and doing their part, then it's great because children do need both parents. So basically, let me give you a brief synopsis of from the letter that I received. Um, so basically, in this, to paraphrase, this email basically stated the young lady, um, she is in a relationship currently with a young man. Based on the letter, she is not married. The young man been wanting is wanting a baby, but she states her intuition is telling her not to do it because he is not financially stable. Um, she goes on and says that he does not have his own place, and she feels that he does a poor job prioritizing currently in the relationship. Um, and she goes on to say that he is a man of God and that he tells her to have faith in that everything will fall into place. Um, and she just wants somebody's opinion. Okay. Well, if your intuition, like based on everything that you're saying, I would listen to my intuition. If the man is not financially stable now, he's not going to be financially stable once a kid comes into play. I am yet to see a couple that states, "Oh, after I had my children, I just made a shitload of money." It doesn't happen like that. Like children equate to being broke. You have kids, you're broke. If you were broke before you had kids, you're really gonna be broke after you have kids. And if you were not broke before you had kids, 9 times out of 10, you're having kids is going to put a financial stress on what you're already dealing with, and is dealing with at the moment. And for him to not have his own place, um, and he wants children, eh, that begs me to wonder how old you guys are, because first of all, at the age that I am now, I'm 33. I am not dating a man that does not have his own place. And it doesn't mean that he has to his own home, but he definitely needs to have his own place, meaning he's not a roommate, he's not living with his mom, he's not crashing on somebody's couch, he's not living at Motel 8. He needs to have his own place, whether it's an apartment, a condo, a house. He needs to have his own place. We're not, this is 2020. And even if it wasn't, women, we need to expect more from these men. And 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 men, if you don't have your stuff together, you shouldn't be dating. And you definitely shouldn't be expecting a woman to have your baby. And that goes the same thing for a female. If you don't have your stuff together, dating should be the last thing on your mind. If you don't have your shit together, you should be your priority should be getting whatever it is in order. So whether it means getting a better job, maybe going back to school in order for you to get a better job, um, saving up money so you can get your own place. That needs to be your priority if you're not there yet. If you're living with someone else or you're living with your mom, and it sounds like, since she's saying that you don't want to have you don't have your own place, it sounds like she's embarrassed to say you're living with your mom. You cannot live with your mom and expect for a woman to be saying, "Yay, I'm gonna have your baby." Um, and another thing that she mentioned, he is a man of God. We all know I'm not super religious. Yes, I was raised in the church, but I'm not super religious. I've read the Bible a few times. I'm a Catholic school girl, and grew up Seventh-day Adventist. So I know the Bible, and I don't think the Bible said, um, I don't think there's anywhere that I ever remember reading in the Bible that told you that it is okay to have kids out of wedlock. So I, I'm not knocking anybody. Like I said, I'm not judging anybody. But you can't say you're a man of God, but you want to knock me up without making me your wife first. You can't say that you're a man of God, but yet your butt don't have your stuff together. But you want me to be pregnant and stressed out while you figure it out. You should figure it out before you decide you want me to be your wife. You want me to be the mother of your child. And quite frankly, me personally, I already have a child out of wedlock. He's about to be 18 years old. And obviously, he's the only one I have, because I refuse to bring another child in this world, as a single parent. Because frankly, if you don't see me fit enough to be your wife, I don't see myself fit enough to be the mother of your children. And to say that, I say this: childbirth is a very dangerous time in a female's life. Um, that is something that most men do not seem to understand. A woman can die during childbirth. So for me to take that commitment of bringing your DNA into this world, I need a little bit more than just "this is my baby mama" title. I need to be your wife. You need to be able to commit to me for life. Like, this ain't gonna be no, okay, I'm infatuated with you at this moment, so I think I want you to be the mother of my child, but I might change my mind down the line and leave you with the child to raise by yourself. I'll be around, but we all know majority of the time the kid spends 90% of their time with the mom when you have kids out of wedlock. I don't think it's fair to the mother, and it's definitely not fair to the child. Regardless of how much dads who are in, um, sing, co-parenting relationships, and when I say co-parenting, I'm referring to they're not married, living in the same household. It is not a 50-50 task, because a lot of times this person goes on and they're in their own relationship, and that relationship takes precedence over their kids majority of the time. Um, who's the one staying up late with the child? The mom. The child lives with the mom, so the mom, if she doesn't already have herself financially stable, she needs to hurry up and get herself financially stable, because most men are not paying apartments for their baby mom. And if they are, they're y'all need to point me in their direction. I'm just joking. But they're just doing the bare minimum. And if you were in a married relationship, or at least in a, because a lot of minimum, a lot of people nowadays, I guess they're not believing in marriage, but they're they're living in, what is it called in, some states, when you cohabitating, common law relationships. Okay, you really need to know that this person is really going to stick around. Because if the dad is in the house and he's already financially stable and he's already going, doing more than he should for you as a man, then that will continue on after the baby gets there. But if he's already being a deadbeat boyfriend or a deadbeat man, whatever you want to call it, he's gonna be a deadbeat dad. So, to answer your question, I don't think you should go and have a child for a man that is not financially stable, that does not have his own apartment, and does not know how to prioritize. Because obviously, if he's not financially stable, he does not have his own apartment, but he wants a child, he does not have his priorities together. You are absolutely right. Um, that's just gonna put extra stress on you and a strain in your relationship altogether, where I see this man possibly walking away from you and you having to bring him to court, once he realizes that babies are not just cute. They gotta be fed.
They need to get diapers